Oh, we back.
Welcome,
This
welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to Solomon's Crown. So, guys, I know it's been a while since since we posted anything, but we've been busy in the back end with many projects. Stay tuned for that. But without further ado, we're just gonna get straight into this. So, what's been going somewhat viral, I guess you could call it viral, is this incident that happened with Jim Jones, a famous American rapper, where he was denied service or something happened, some altercation happened within the Gucci store. And, he's claiming prejudice and racism and, him being not being serviced as a celebrity just because he's black in this particular luxury brand store. Before I go leave my thoughts about it, I just want to hear what, Will thinks about this situation. And this is not the first time, black celebrities or the company itself kind of caricaturing black people in certain ways, or black people going into certain stores, and even if they have the money, they're treated a certain way. What do you think about this, Will?
it goes. It's ridiculous as always. Why would you even want to spend money in a store like this? And it's not just like one store. Like it's like, bro, like stop spending money on these. I've been preaching this for like months. It's just like we, as people in general, just give our give our monies. It's early, honey coffee, but we give our money to people who just don't even like give us any type of like finished product. We saw it in the gaming industry with like the past couple of game releases that have came out, like Cyberpunk being the main one. If you're not familiar with it, it's a game that was super hyped. It released, it had a bunch of bugs, and people still paid for it. I mean, I paid for it because I thought like, oh, it can't be that bad. Like it's super hype. But that's just one aspect of it. I mean, Call of Duty, talk about that. Like I was just like, it was riddled with cheaters and everything like that. And people still like, oh, I'm gonna buy the next Call of Duty. I'm still playing Call of Duty. And it's like, why, bro? Like they're not doing anything for you, but yet we continue to give our money to them. And this is no different from any of those situations where it's like, okay, you go into Gucci, they're not providing you service, yet you still want to see a manager, you still want to get your product and stuff like this. And it's like, oh, well, I like what I like. It's like, obviously they don't care about your money. I mean, as you were telling me, like Gucci made well over they made way too much money. Let's just say that last year. Like if you look at their annual earnings, like they make money. So it's like, oh, this dude didn't spend $29,000, is what he said, in our store. And he's talking about like, yo, I spent over $100,000 in the last couple months. And it's like, why not put it in another brand? Like, why does it have to be Gucci? Like, I get that the
Exactly.
quality of clothing is like top tier and this and that, but it's like, if that's the case, just go to what Gucci's of Spain, Italy, like handmade stuff,
Italy, probably. Yeah,
like
whatever.
yeah, like I would never, I have no desire to buy Gucci, Burberry, all these brands because it's the same stuff. Like I was in the Gucci store like what, like a month or two ago, and I'm looking at their products and I'm just like, bro, this is the same stuff they've been putting
It's
out for
mid.
years. It's super mid, bro. Like, and it's like what, a backpack was like $350. I'm like, bro, I could get a bag that has just as much utility that'll probably last me a little bit longer. I don't have to be like, oh, it's Gucci, I gotta like take care of it for like $80. Has more utility, has more pockets, like just gonna last me like to the dawn of time. And it's good with me. But I mean, I'm also about utility. So it's like I'm not buying a brand name just because it's supposed to be like top tier, because I think like with a lot of people with money, they think like, oh, if I don't wear Gucci, if I don't wear Balenciaga, shit like that, like it's gonna be like, oh, I look poor, or like I worked my whole life so I could buy $1,000 bag. And it's just like, bro,
Yeah,
like I don't got time for that, like, to be honest, because it's like, even with me, if I had money like that, bro, like I wouldn't waste it like that, to be honest. So I'm not the type of person that if I had money would be like, I don't need, I mean, I spend money on computer parts, I spend money on cars, things like that. But you can buy any brand of clothing that you want, and you choose
hmm
to go to a store that has shown that they are not going to support you no matter what. If you're a rapper, if you're this and that, because think about it. Like how many drug dealers walk into Gucci stores and all these stores, and they're just like, it's like they don't look at them any differently. It's like, bro, a
Mhm.
drug dealer can do the same thing that you do, and they're not going to complain that they've been sitting in there for 6 hours. As long as they get the bag, that's all they care about. And
Yeah.
it's like you want to have some type of special treatment because you make money, you spend money in the store, but it's like I guarantee you, in 2 3 weeks, he's still going to be buying Gucci. Like, so it's like,
I'm,
what do you want people to feel bad about, bro? Like,
I'm,
that's
I'm
my take on
so, I'm so over this, bro. And I'm gonna put on my little koofy hat, like,
it.
I'm gonna be, quote unquote woke. But we got to go back a little bit. So, I think back in the Jim Crow days, or probably like a little bit after that, black people, we only could shop at, black owned stores and whatnot. And I think at the time, I think only Jewish people were kind of like doing business with us
Mm,
at that time. But then someone came up with the idea that, hey, like, there's a bunch of money to be made with black people from a psychological aspect, because it's like, as a black people, I think in a lot of societies, not only in the Americas, you know, we're broken down to think that, oh, we have to have the same clothes or have the same shoes, live in the same houses. Sometimes for some people have the same woman or man as white people have, right? We covet, whiteness and all that entails, right? So long story short, white businesses began to sell stuff to black people because it's like, oh, like this rich white movie star is wearing it. So if I wear it, maybe I'll be accepted, right? So fast forward in the modern times, right? I can't figure out the reference to it, but I think we have like something like $1 trillion of buying power in Black
mm.
America. Black America in the whole the whole total grand total of the Black diaspora. Black America is like one of the richest group of blacks on the face of this earth. We have like trillions, like a trillion, almost $1 trillion in buying power. But I think a dollar stays in the black community like maybe 3 minutes or less than that
Yeah, we
compared
talked
to other
about this
races.
before.
And my thing is like this Jim Jones issue is not the first time this happened. We've had another luxury brand like pretty much make this kind of low-key racist thing
It
about
was
us.
Gucci, bro, where they
It was
made
it was
the
Gucci. It was
blackface.
Gucci
Yeah,
too.
and then that was Ti who was protesting it. It's like, oh, we're
Yeah.
not buying Gucci. This
And
is not.
yeah,
It's
we're
like
not
they
buying
literally
Gucci.
made blackface, bro. Like
And it's like,
blackface and put it on shirts and stuff. And they're like, and then the thing was, Gucci was like, oh, we apologize. We didn't think this would be offensive.
I think about it, and it's like we have so many brands coming up. And shout out to like Rihanna's Fenty, because she's a billionaire off of her own brand. But it's like, when will black people in general, especially richer black people, understand it's like, yo, these companies don't care about you. They don't care about you, like, because a lot of these people come from old money and they still see black people as less than, so they really don't care if you're not getting special treatment and whatnot and blah 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 blah. Because like if you act anyway, as you said, they made how much amount of money in last year. They don't care if you're not spending their little $29,000 at their store. And it's like, why can't celebrities pay more into black owned businesses? Because I'm pretty sure there are a bunch of apparel and garment stores that have the same quality or better than Gucci and whatnot. It's just the brand name. It's just the brand name of like, oh, Gucci's the pinnacle of fashion, of luxury, or Balenciaga. And it's like all these brands are low-key mid, bro. Like Balenciaga is like selling like nuts for
Bro, they're selling
like for $1,000,
the
bro.
barbecue dad 12s for like like bro, the
Bro,
Nike Mavericks,
they
the
literally
Monarchs.
they literally copied like Asics designs, bro. The shits that we got in basic training, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, and then they're charging like $600 $700 for it, and people are like, oh, I got it. And it's like, bro, like, yeah, it was Gucci. They did Gucci apologized and removed sweaters following blackface backlash because it was like a turtleneck that came up
mhm.
and it like had like the
The
bottom
lips,
of
that's what it
blackface.
was.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
And
what it
that
was.
was Ti, and he was like, yo, this is so disrespectful. Like, we need to just stop buying this and that. And then a couple months passed, and that was in 2019. And then a couple months passed, let's just say 2 years passed, and here we go with Jim Jones, who's just like, yo,
And,
Gucci is treating me unfairly. It's like, bro, like we've
and
been knowing
and
what time they on.
yeah, you know what
Like,
time they on, man. We already know what time they on. Like, why is this a big deal? Like, we already know what time they on. And granted, I think there's a lot of black businesses out there. I think there's like
now more
apps
than
that,
ever. Like,
yeah, there's business out there that we can support, especially the people who have the clout and the money. So it's like, I'm over this whole Jim Jones controversy. Like, oh, boo, they like, they treated me bad and I'm spending money. It's just like, yo, you already know what time they on. Like, why are we
and the
supporting
thing
these
is like he
people?
posted about it saying like, oh, like normally when I come in here, I'll be drunk, I'll be having a good time, this, and that. And this one instance where it doesn't happen. And then I'm pretty sure he took the post down because I couldn't find it. But it's just like, why even post something like that if you're just gonna like take it down and be like, oh, all is forgiven because the manager at Gucci finally came out and said, we apologize. Like, bro, like that's good enough. Like, bro, if I was in there and they first off sent an employee out there, which he said they sent a black employee out there to kind of like calm him down and this, and that. And then he was just like, he was telling me a bunch of lies and this, and that. I remember like, yo, you know what? I'm out. Like, I'm good. Like what, like what else is there here for me? And this, it's like there's so many black businesses in general that like Black America could be investing in. We follow a couple on Instagram. You got the chick who does the satin line hoodies.
Yeah,
I have to find her. Yeah. I'll probably link it at the bottom of the video. But like that, I've watched that company grow from like ground zero, and it's just like, imagine if Jen Jones was like, "Yo, I'm gonna spend $29,000 on this," like, because that chick was. I mean, she actually went to the Shark Tank, and it's like, bro, like, why are these like black-owned businesses having to go to the Shark Tank to go ask people for money when it's like, bro, we got Jim Jones spending $29,000 in Gucci. And the thing is, like, think about how much further that $29,000 would have went for. He could have probably bought like damn near a lifetime supply of hoodies and sweaters and stuff like that. And on top of that, if you invest into the business like that, I mean, they could start making custom bags. They could start making shoes, this, and that. Because like in this day and time, it is so easy to, if you have money, it's so easy to essentially make whatever you want. Like you can make custom bags, you can make custom hoodies, you can make, because everybody's gaining access to a lot of these places that make all these materials. I mean, think about Nike, like what they probably get their, they probably have some of their factories in like Taiwan or China, things like that, where they're just getting all their stuff mass produced. And it's like, I bought this hoodie off of, or I didn't buy the hoodie, but I got the hoodie off of,
Spreadshirt,
like, yeah, Spreadshirt, I think it was. And like this has probably been one of the best hoodies that I've ever worn, like period. Like the quality is good, it wasn't crazy expensive, like, and it's just one of those things where it's like I would legit, I mean, I'm already planning on making a couple more, so it's like I had for $60, like I can make a hoodie that's customized, has my own stuff on it, like, and it's like, why would I go buy a Gucci sweater that's just like the same prints, the same designs over and over and over and over again? Like, bro, like I'm just so over it. And it's like, yeah, I get it. Like if you're rich and you're famous, you can spend your money on whatever you want, but like don't complain about it when like you're treated unfairly. Like, bro, like nobody cares, bro. It's like, it's
stupid, man. It's really stupid.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like rappers in general. Like, and it's like, the thing is like they think that they have money, but then they like don't have money compared to like people who are stockholders in big companies and like Fortune 500 companies, things like that. And it's just like, that's why they're always like, oh, you guys come from new money, because it's like you essentially never reach that pinnacle because of the way that you're spending your money. I mean, what? The owner of Facebook, aka Meta now, like Zach, just call him Zach.
Mark.
It is Mark. Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah. Like, bro, like this dude is literally wearing like some Adidas shirt from like probably an outlet and like some sweatpants, some jogging pants. Like we've seen pictures of him, and he's not wearing Gucci. He's not wearing like all these big brands, and he's paid. Like, and I think Bezos is a little bit different because he has like way too much money.
He's on a different level.
Yeah, he's like, but I mean, even with that being said, I mean, he does a lot of business meetings and things like that, but he probably has the suits custom made, things like that. So it's like, And Gucci's definitely not going to treat him the way that they treat Jim Jones, because like he probably comes into their, I mean, he probably doesn't even go into their store. He probably has an assistant go down there and be like, yo, like go get me this, and that. Custom make this, show up to the house and make this for me, because that's what real money means. Like Jim Jones, like you have this much money, why are you still going down to the Gucci store to buy your clothes? Like send somebody to do it so they don't have, like you don't have to worry about these things. Like, and that's another thing about like these dudes who get money and then they're just like, oh well, I deserve to be treated better because I have money. And it's like, you don't deserve anything. Nobody in this world deserves anything. You get what you get at the end of the day. And just because you got money in the bank don't mean that you're going to gain all the respect from these companies who literally don't even know who you are. And I was even speaking on this where it's like, okay, like Jim Jones walks into a Gucci store. Half these people probably don't even know who he is. Exactly. Who are you? Like, who are you? To them, it's just like, yo, we got a customer who's coming in here wilding about like, oh, he's not getting proper service. Like, well, it doesn't matter. And the thing is too, is like for most of these stores, you have to make an appointment, like if you really want to buy and stuff like that. So like, I'm assuming that he probably showed up without an appointment and they were like, yo, we're handling other customers maybe. Like, I mean, you don't really know the situation because it's always one-sided from this. It's always just like one-sided. They probably just said, because like I've gone, I even went into Gucci like when I was back in San Diego, and like I've never had a problem just being like, yo, can I look at clothing, this and that. They don't have like a VIP room or anything like that. Or I just think
he did say he had like some VIP status or something, and I don't know, he was waiting. That's why he was talking about like, oh, I didn't get any sparkling water, blah 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 blah. So I think he had some type of like status there, but it's like maybe just entitlement. I don't know.
It's just I'm just tired of hearing it. It's like, bro, like it's like the boy who cried wolf every single time. It's like, bro, like Gucci once again. It's like, bro, after Gucci did that blackface, like I don't even.
That was dead. Yeah,
that's like what more do they need to do for you? They made that a public collection, bro. Like, and then they were just like, oh, we didn't know what we was doing. Like, really? like really? Like, come on, bro. Like, that's not, come on. Some designer literally was just like, yeah, like this shit's gonna pop. Like, this is gonna be dope. And the thing is, people probably own those sweaters, like,
oh yeah,
like no doubt. And they're just like, oh, whatever. Like, we're gonna have a before I get booted off of YouTube, let me calm down. But they probably have parties and they dress up with them and all types of stuff.
My
like,
God, bro.
You know? But nah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just kind of over it. Like,
yo, like, if you don't, it's either. That's basically my final words on this. Is like either as Black people invest in our luxury brands or create new luxury brands, so we don't have to face this type of issue or whatever, or keep on shopping in Gucci and all these other places, and then you can't expect them to change because they're going to treat you however they treat you.
Yeah, because I mean, they make money regardless if you come in or not. It's like, bro, you spent $100,000 in Gucci, and the thing is like Gucci isn't even like some of the top tier like clothing. Like it low key, it's like bottom tier quality. I mean, not bottom tier quality, but like it's like a bottom tier store.
Like luxury, like yeah,
it's like middle class, not even like lower class rich people buy from there.
Yeah,
like people who are like rich buy. Like there's a couple other stores, I don't know the names, but like I went to Dusseldorf a little while ago, and they have like a whole like district where it's like fashion district, things like that. And I'm talking about like, bro, like they had like stores out there where like you literally have to have an appointment to come in here. The lowest thing that you could probably buy out of the store is probably like $14,000, like stuff like that. So it's just like it's a different world out there, and it's just like people are gonna spend their money however they feel like it, but it's just like I don't want to hear about it, bro. Like I'm done. So with that being said, that's all we got to say. I mean, we're just kind of like peeking in and out at this point. Like we've been seeing a couple articles that we want to talk about and everything like that. But I think we are rounding the corner as far as like our projects coming together at this point. So now we can take some time to talk from our sponsors. We are the sponsors. But Pop's been working on our website and our NFT project, so that is up, or we're waiting for approval for crowns to be approved, but the website is up. You guys might have seen that posted on Instagram if you follow me on Instagram. But yeah, that's up. And then we have another project that we're working on, still waiting on that, but that should be coming around the corner in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And then we'll get some videos together and just do everything all at once, essentially, where we'll just post like all the projects that we've been working on. So everything is kind of tied in together, and as we release, it'll just be, we have a roadmap essentially where we're just going to be releasing everything, and it's going to tie in together. So stay tuned for more of that. And then once all that stuff is good to go, we'll probably be back to podcasting. I know we talked about elevating our podcast to the next level. That's still in the works, but it's kind of like in the back burner because right now we have so much other stuff going on that it's the podcasting is fine, but I think that this is kind of like a hobby for us now. So once we have more time to like kind of like sit down, research our topics and everything like that, then we'll get back into it. But for the most part, we're just trying to put some content out, keep talking, keep informing. And the goal is not lost at all. But we appreciate everybody who showed up this far. If that's the case, that means that you actually watch our content and that you are one of our followers and loyal fans. So with that being said, you guys will be the ones who are rewarded with all of our content and our projects that are coming up, and we'll just keep on moving forward after that. So
yep.
Till next time.
All right. Peace out.
Dope.